Portugal just sent a terrifying message to the entire world at the FIFA World Cup 2026. In one of the most dominant performances of the tournament so far, Portugal completely dismantled Uzbekistan with a ruthless 5-0 victory, showing power, precision, and world-class football from start to finish. This was not just another group stage win. This was a statement. This was a warning to every team dreaming of lifting the World Cup trophy. Portugal came into this match under pressure to deliver after mixed reactions from their previous performance. But what unfolded on the pitch was pure footballing excellence. From the opening whistle, Portugal looked sharp, aggressive, and hungry. Their body language screamed confidence, and within the first few minutes, it became clear that Uzbekistan would be in for a very long night. Portugal immediately took control of possession, circulating the ball with incredible speed and composure. Their midfield trio dictated the tempo effortlessly, constantly moving the ball between the lines and forcing Uzbekistan to chase shadows. Uzbekistan entered the game with a clear defensive strategy. They set up deep, compact, and disciplined, hoping to deny Portugal space in dangerous areas while looking for opportunities on the counterattack. For the opening few minutes, that approach seemed organized. Their defensive block stayed narrow, limiting central access and forcing Portugal toward the flanks. But Portugal had already anticipated that plan. Instead of forcing risky central passes, they patiently stretched the field, using the width of the pitch brilliantly. Their fullbacks pushed high, the wingers stayed wide, and the midfield rotated constantly to create overloads. Every passing sequence looked rehearsed, every movement synchronized. Portugal's technical superiority was obvious. In the 8th minute, the first major warning arrived. Portugal built a beautiful move down the right flank with quick one-touch combinations. A perfectly weighted cross was delivered into the box, and the attacker rose above the defenders for a powerful header. Uzbekistan's goalkeeper reacted brilliantly, diving to make a spectacular save. It was a huge moment, but rather than discouraging Portugal, it only increased their intensity. The pressure became relentless. Portugal pinned Uzbekistan deeper and deeper inside their own half. Every clearance seemed to fall to a Portuguese player. Every second ball was won by Portugal. Uzbekistan were struggling to breathe under the constant wave of attacks. Then came the breakthrough. In the 17th minute, Portugal finally found the opening they had been hunting. A midfielder spotted a gap between Uzbekistan's center-backs and delivered a precise through ball that split the defense. Portugal's forward timed his run perfectly, controlled the ball in stride, forced the goalkeeper off his line, and calmly slotted the finish into the bottom corner. Goal, Portugal. 1-0. The stadium erupted. Fans exploded in celebration as Portugal took a deserved lead. The goal reflected everything they had done well: vision, movement, composure, and clinical finishing. After conceding, Uzbekistan attempted to respond by pushing slightly higher up the pitch. They tried to connect more passes in midfield and create transitions into attack, but Portugal's pressing system was simply suffocating. Every time Uzbekistan regained possession, multiple Portuguese players instantly closed them down. Their counter-press was ruthless. Passing lanes disappeared in seconds, and Uzbekistan repeatedly lost the ball before reaching the halfway line. Portugal smelled weakness and continued attacking with confidence. Their second goal arrived in the 28th minute, and it was absolutely stunning. A Portuguese attacker received the ball in the left wing, cut inside with quick footwork, beat his marker, and curled a sensational shot toward the far post. The goalkeeper stretched desperately, but had no chance. The ball kissed the inside of the net. Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0. A world-class finish. That goal visibly damaged Uzbekistan's morale. Their defensive shape began to lose discipline. Communication errors increased. Players started showing signs of frustration. Portugal sensed the collapse and accelerated once again. As halftime approached, Portugal refused to slow down. Instead, they raised the tempo and searched for a third goal to kill the match. Their reward came in the 41st minute. Portugal earned a dangerous free kick just outside the penalty area. The delivery came in with pace, took a deflection off the wall, and fell kindly inside the box. Before Uzbekistan could react, a Portuguese player smashed the rebound into the roof of the net with tremendous power. Goal, Portugal 3-0. At that moment, the match felt finished. Halftime arrived with Portugal completely in control. Portugal dominated possession. created numerous chances, registered multiple shots on target, and controlled every tactical phase of the game. Uzbekistan, meanwhile, looked overwhelmed. Their game plan had collapsed under relentless pressure. During halftime analysis, commentators praised Portugal's structure, discipline, and attacking fluidity. The biggest compliment was simple. Portugal looked like genuine title contenders. When the second half began, some expected Portugal to reduce intensity and manage energy. Instead, they returned with even greater aggression. This mentality separates good teams from elite teams. Portugal were not interested in protecting a lead. They wanted total domination. Uzbekistan made substitutions to regain balance in midfield and inject fresh energy. For a brief spell, the match became more even. Uzbekistan managed to string together a few promising passes and finally pushed into dangerous territory. In the 54th minute, they created their best chance of the match. A long ball dropped behind Portugal's defense, and Uzbekistan's forward sprinted toward goal with a potential one-on-one opportunity. For a split second, it looked like they might pull one back, but Portugal's defender produced a stunning recovery tackle at the last possible moment, timing the challenge perfectly to deny the shot. It was a crucial defensive action. Had Uzbekistan scored there, the emotional momentum might have shifted slightly. Portugal responded immediately, showing why top teams punish missed opportunities. In the 61st minute came Portugal's fourth goal, and many fans will remember it as the goal of the night. The move began deep inside Portugal's own half. Short passes from the back invited pressure, before midfielders combined with rapid one-touch triangles. The speed of movement dragged Uzbekistan out of shape. One perfectly weighted final pass sliced through the defense, and the attacker simply tapped the ball into an empty net. It was breathtaking team football. Portugal 4, Uzbekistan 0. The crowd rose to applaud. This was football artistry. Confidence now flowed through every Portuguese player. Back heels, flicks, quick combinations, and creative movement became increasingly common. Portugal were enjoying themselves. Uzbekistan, on the other hand, looked mentally defeated. Their defenders began leaving dangerous gaps. Midfield tracking became inconsistent. Fatigue became impossible to hide. Portugal kept moving the ball side to side, forcing Uzbekistan to chase relentlessly. Eventually, the final blow arrived. In the 79th minute, Portugal won a corner kick. The delivery was whipped toward the near post, where a clever flick-on redirected the ball across goal. At the far post, a Portuguese attacker reacted fastest and finished clinically. Goal: Portugal 5-0. Complete domination. The Portuguese bench exploded in celebration. Coaches, substitutes, and staff all recognized the importance of this performance. This was more than a victory. It was tactical perfection. Now let's talk about the key reasons behind Portugal's dominance. First, their midfield control was exceptional. They controlled rhythm, dictated tempo, recycled possession efficiently, and won second balls consistently. This allowed Portugal to sustain attacks and prevent Uzbekistan from building confidence. Second, their wing play was devastating. Portugal used width brilliantly, stretching Uzbekistan's defensive block and creating space between defenders. Overloads on both flanks constantly generated dangerous crossing and cutback opportunities. Third, their pressing system was elite. Portugal's high press and immediate counter-press ensured Uzbekistan never felt comfortable on the ball. Every turnover was punished. Every mistake was amplified. On the other side, Uzbekistan struggled in several critical areas. Their biggest issue was composure under pressure. Too often they panicked in possession and cleared the ball without purpose. Their midfield failed to support transitions, leaving the forwards isolated and unable to hold the ball. Defensively, they remained organized early, but eventually broke under sustained pressure. The psychological collapse was perhaps the most damaging factor. After conceding the first goal, confidence dropped. After the second, panic increased. After the third, belief disappeared. At World Cup level, mentality matters as much as technical ability, and Portugal exposed that reality mercilessly. The big question now is simple. Has Portugal established itself as one of the strongest contenders to win the FIFA World Cup 2026? Based on this performance, the answer is absolutely yes. Portugal demonstrated clinical finishing, tactical flexibility, squad depth, defensive discipline, attacking creativity, and championship mentality. These are the traits of teams that go deep into tournaments. Their goal difference improved dramatically, their confidence soared, and their rivals will now view them with much greater caution. This result also carries psychological significance heading into future matches. Winning is important, but winning in dominant fashion creates belief. Players begin trusting the system even more. Fans begin dreaming bigger. Opponents begin feeling pressure before kickoff. That is exactly what Portugal created tonight. They did not simply defeat Uzbekistan. They sent a warning to the entire tournament. Portugal are here, and they mean business. If they continue playing with this level of intensity, intelligence, and efficiency, they will be a nightmare for any opponent in the knockout stages. The road to the World Cup trophy remains long and difficult, but performances like this build champions. Tonight belonged to Portugal. Tonight they reminded the football world of their immense quality. And tonight, one message became impossible to ignore. Portugal is ready for greatness.